Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the sleeper OP or underrated picks for this patch. So already, a lot of new champions have been popping up in this patch. Cho'Gath right now is pretty much a pick or ban in the higher elos. There's also a few of these lethality champions like Talon and Zed that are seeing a lot more play, but there's still a few champions in this patch right now that have a very low play rate, but are actually really strong, and those are the ones we're going to be taking a look at in this video. So that being said, guys, let's get started. So the first champion we're going to take a look at here is going to be in the jungle, and it's going to be Skarner. So Skarner right now is actually a very underrated jungler for a few different reasons. The first one is because with the Righteous Glory buffs a few patches ago, that item is actually super good on Skarner. It allows him to very easily engage and get his ultimate off on the back line, and with that item being very viable now, it makes Skarner a much stronger pick. Number two, he's actually really good into a lot of these meta champions right now and into a lot of these assassin lethality champions due to his ultimate. So if he is playing against someone like a Kha'Zix, a Zed, a Talon, Skarner can just ult them if they try to dive onto his back line. He provides very good peel against these assassin champions, which is another reason to why he's a fairly strong pick right now. And then with Warmogs being a much stronger item and almost all tank junglers now are going Warmog somewhere in their build, it actually synergizes very well with Skarner because the shield on your W scales with your maximum HP, and therefore if you're stacking all these health items like the Cinder Hulk, the Righteous Glory, the Warmogs, and because the Cinder Hulk did get buffed to where the more health you get now, the bonus on the Cinder Hulk is a lot higher, so you're just going to be super tanky, super healthy with Skarner, and your shield from your W, it's up every like 5 or 6 seconds at max CDR, and it's gonna be like a 500 or 600 health shield at least once you do reach the mid to late game. And then if you do incorporate a stone plate somewhere in your build, which is actually very good on Skarner, if you do pop your stone plate and then you also pop your shield, because your shield does scale off that max HP, the stone plate is going to give you an insane amount of bonus HP, and therefore you're probably going to get like at least a 2k health shield from your W, which can be just really good for stalling in team fights and just allowing your team to catch up to you, or just allowing you to soak a load of damage in team fights. Next up here is going to be a top lane pick in Quinn, and Quinn is actually very strong in this patch now. Quinn's always a top laner that kind of jumps in and out of the meta for solo queue. In this patch right now with lethality though, she's a very strong pick. If we take a look at the most picked top laners as well in this patch, you've got Riven, Renekton, Darius, Jax, Fiora, Yasuo. The most picked top laners right now are all melee champions, and they're all champions that Quinn can do well against. That's another reason to why she's a very good pick right now in this patch. And then if you do end up going for that lethality build on her and you get a snowball going in the early game, you're just going to be able to one-shot squishy targets. You're going to snowball insanely hard with this champion, and she's also just got a very good kit for solo queue, because if you get ahead in the laning phase, you use your ultimate to roam around the map, and you can close out games super fast with Quinn just due to the fact that she is one of the strongest roaming top laners. And then just to show you guys like the win percent she's got in certain matchups in this patch, she's got a 62% win rate against Renekton, 57 against Fiora, 57 against Talon, Riven is 57, and then Darius is also 57. So these are absurd win rates for Quinn top lane against a lot of these meta picks right now. So if you do have Quinn top lane in your champion pool, or if you want to incorporate her into your champion pool, then it's a pretty good idea to for 7.14. And then one last thing to note that I found pretty interesting is that starting E on Quinn actually does have the better win percent opposed to starting Q. I think the reason to why this is better is number one, if you start Q on Quinn and you use it to poke, then you're basically automatically going to be shoving the wave, and Quinn is one of the easier top lane champions to gank in the early game. So by starting E on Quinn, it does allow you to just not shove the wave in super fast, so you're not easily gankable, and it actually actually does allow you to trade pretty effectively at level 1. What you can do with your E is you can get an auto off on the opponent, use your E, and then it automatically procs your passive. So the full damage, or like the little trade combo from that, actually is probably going to do more damage than if you did start your Q. So start E on Quinn, and that's going to be a lot more effective in most situations. The next pick here is going to be a jungler, and it's Nocturne. So Nocturne right now with this lethality build as well is very underrated right now in this patch. What most players are doing right now on Nocturne jungle is they're going for a warrior rush. After that, they're going Duskblade, and with your ultimate, it basically guarantees you get that auto off from the Duskblade. The amount of damage you can get off from your full burst combo once you have Duskblade is insanely good. It's pretty much just gonna one-shot squishy targets, and because it's just super easy for Nocturne to guarantee that he gets that auto off from the Duskblade due to the fact that his ultimate is going to teleport him to the enemy champion, it's just a super good item on him. And if you are looking for another very good assassin in the jungle for this patch, then I think Nocturne is very underrated and a very strong pick. Now, another pick in the top lane here that's doing very well in this patch is Wukong. Now, Wukong's a champion that you rarely see in the meta. He never really has over like a 3 or 4% play rate. He's never up there as one of the most played top lane champions, but I think in this patch right now, he's actually a very good pick for the top lane. His matchups are very favorable. He's winning against a lot of the meta picks. He's got a very good win rate against Darius, Fiora, Yasuo, Camille. He does well into pretty much most matchups in this patch. There's not too many champions here, as you can see, that are really destroying him. Pantheon's really the only pick that does well against Wukong, or that does very well against him in this patch. And then he's also just one of the best teamfight top lane champions. If you get the Duskblade on him and you get some lethality, your one shot on squishy targets is pretty much foolproof, because you don't have a single skill shot in your kit as Wukong. All you have to do is get a flank off, get your EQ combo ultimate off on a squishy target, and it just one-shots them. He's one of the best and most probably reliant teamfight top laners that you can play, mainly because he's just pretty easy to play. He doesn't take a lot of skill, so if you are looking for a good teamfight top lane champion that's also great with lethality, then I'd try picking up Wukong for this patch. And then the final champion here to round out this video is going to be another jungler, and it's Maokai. So Maokai is still only sitting at a 2% play rate right now for this patch, which is pretty interesting because I actually think Maokai is one of the strongest Cinderhawk junglers right now in 7.14. Maokai's kit is just really good for solo queue because he's got 4 CC abilities in his kit. The CC abilities aren't hard to land at all. His flash root combo in the early game is basically a guaranteed flash blown, if not a kill. And if you do play it correctly and you layer your CC when you do gank, then it's very easy for you to just snowball a certain lane in the early game. It's just super easy for you to find those engages whenever your flash is up, and also if you do end up getting Righteous Glory. I think after a few patches, unless Maokai ends up getting some nerfs, he's going to see a lot more play. I think he's kind of going through what Warwick went through, because a few patches ago I always thought that Warwick was a super strong pick, but he only had like a 2 or 3% play rate. In this patch right now, Warwick's got like an 8 or 9% play rate, which is pretty respectable. So I think it's going to take a few patches for Maokai to really catch on, but I think just with a lot of the buffs recently to certain items, and with Maokai also getting buffed recently, he's just a very strong jungle pick. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. These are the 5 champions in this patch right now that I think are the most underrated, and they're picks that are definitely very strong right now. So if they're picks that you have played before and they are in your champion pool, or they have been in your champion pool, then I'd recommend picking them back up for 7.14. So with that being said, guys, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you have yet to already, and I'll see you guys in my next video.